Hello and welcome to the Epic Thumbs YouTube channel. I'm Phil, and in this video we're going to be taking a complete look at Apocalypse starring Bruce Willis, exclusively for the Sony Playstation.
Boy, you're gonna have some bad dreams tonight.
Nanotech in action. Welcome to paradise.
The Apocalypse story takes us back to 1997, when developer Neversoft were making an upcoming mech shooter entitled Big Guns. After selling the idea to publicist Sony, Big Guns, renamed Exodus, was showing off at E3 in 1997. Exodus underwent several design changes and confusion as a result of Sony's involvement, and they eventually pulled the plug on the project, leaving Neversoft with no game to work on. With an impressive game engine to showcase as a result of Big Guns, Neversoft began meeting with numerous companies looking for work, one of which was Activision. Activision were looking for a developer to continue work on a failed internal project featuring Bruce Willis, which was originally meant for release in summer of 1997, and even made an appearance at E3 1997, like Exodus had done, as shown in this footage where a developer discusses the game's weapons.
Chain gun, a laser, and a flamethrower. The world's first real-time 3D super slick flamethrower. Yeah, rocket launcher, and a pulse energy gun, which will actually freeze the enemies in their tracks.
The technology that had previously been used on Big Guns and Exodus turned out to be ideal for the project, so Neversoft began redeveloping Apocalypse in early 1998.
Feel the burn, kid?
Content from the previous build of Apocalypse would be crossed over, such as body scanning, motion capture and voice recordings that Bruce Willis himself performed during studio sessions in mid-January 1997, a year earlier.
Apocalypse by Activision.
The original concept for Apocalypse was a buddy game, where you would play as your character and have Bruce Willis be your AI-controlled partner. This was scrapped pretty early on by Neversoft. The team felt that everyone would rather just play as Bruce Willis, which is a fair point, and they were also having some difficulties getting the AI partner to control in an intelligent way, something that the team deemed unnecessary if they wanted to achieve Activision's deadline of a Christmas '98 release. Apocalypse seemed to have a pretty standard marketing campaign for that time, having double-page adverts in gaming magazines, being featured on demo discs, and a prototype version getting shown off at E3 1998.
Honey, I'm home. The apocalypse is coming, but not until Bruce Willis says so.
3, 2, 1,
0. Apocalypse with Bruce Willis.
I hate it when that happens.
Rumour has it that during E3, when Activision revealed Apocalypse, they overlooked competitor ASC Games stealing their thunder, as ASC were showing off their new game, 1, which was very similar in design but played and looked much better than the Apocalypse prototype that was used. Neversoft easily made Activision's deadline, and the game was released on October 31st, 1998. The game featured 11 levels in total, with a massive variety of enemies, weapons and bosses. It also made use of Sony's dual analog controller, which had debuted 1 year earlier, adding great playability and control. Apocalypse received average to good reviews from critics, getting a 7.1 out of 10 from GameSpot and a 3 out of 5 from Computer and Video Games magazine. I actually purchased this game back in 1998 and really enjoyed it. The gameplay was simple enough for a very young me to grasp, and with some decent graphics, I think it's aged quite well. It's a real pick up and play title. Murder everything in your way while Bruce Willis cheers you on, with voice recordings that were intended for an AI controlled partner. Looking back, Neversoft really saved Activision's bacon on this one. A failure of a project which had a ton of investment already made, Neversoft worked with what they had, the previous assets and content, and the new game engine to create a great action game, even if the jumping mechanics are a little bit stiff. If you are looking to pick up a copy today, you are going to be spending somewhere between £6 and £10 depending on condition, so it's on the cheaper side. The combination of Neversoft and Activision went on to make some pretty big waves in the gaming industry, with the Apocalypse engine being used on their next project, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. The beta version for Tony Hawk's even had an Apocalypse statue on one of the levels. Apocalypse has such a crazy story behind it. It's got to be one of the most important games in history in terms of company relationships and the series of games that it led to. It's 100% worth giving it a playthrough. Thanks for watching guys. If you like that video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see some more, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.